Hello, Patrick here, 8 Questions With, and welcome back to the show. That's right. We are here for our nightcap of our double header today. First, we interviewed film director Amina Hatri, and now we're going to be talking to young special effects makeup artist Bree Hill. We'll be talking to her in about 15 minutes. So I'm looking forward to that. Hello, Jaden. How are you, sir? Welcome in. Welcome in. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, so we will be talking to Bree Hill. She is a special makeup artist that is based in Louisiana. She worked on the film The Bogman. So we'll be talking to her about special makeups and effects and what's it like to actually put that slop on and goo on top of the actors, and whether any of them ever get any do they get squeamish. um, all right, Drew says he got news. He got a Blu-ray movie recently. What did you get, Drew? What movie did you get? I got a library haul. I got a couple of Blu-rays. I think I already have them though. That's the thing. I thought I was upgrading, but I think I already have them. So, yikes! But I got some DVDs as well. The big news was that I actually got the first. I got the first Scream '96. I finally found a copy of that. Oh, that's excellent. 310 to Yuma. Great movie. Great movie. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a keeper. Uh, Christian Bale, Russell Crowe, Ben Foster. Yep. Yeah, Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe's he's so good. He's such a good actor. I really enjoy watching Russell Crowe work. I mean Christian Bale as well, but I don't know. There's something I really like about Russell Crowe's acting. And Ben Foster. I mean, it looked like he was going to be like sort of like a teen guy, like a romantic comedy kind of guy and everything. But he said that he didn't want to do that, and he has made a career out of being a very good character actor. Um, yeah, he just finished Emancipation with Will Smith. Um, I, I thought that was actually a disappointing role for him because it was such a one note role. Um, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you about that, Drew. I think Russell Crowe definitely stole that movie. I know that when it went in there, it was all about Christian Bale because he's coming off the Batman movies, but I thought Russell Crowe stole it. Just like he did too. He stole The Quick and the Dead as well. The movie with Gene Hackman and Sharon Stone. He stole that movie as well. Let's see. Well, so thank you guys for coming out today, supporting this show, and also for this earlier to showing us showing the first show with Amina Hatari. Hey, look who's back! It's Dale Stark. Dale, I was right. I was not sub to you, my friend. I just subbed to you, so I am sorry about that. I thought I had. I wasn't quite sure, but I went and looked, and I had not. So now that I am, so yes. Um, Emancipation. That's the movie that just came out with Will Smith, uh, and Ben Foster was Will Smith, and yeah, I thought Ben Foster played a pretty one note role in that. It's something we've seen him do already, like 10 times over, and that wasn't a very good movie anyway. It wasn't. It just wasn't very good. It was too drawn out, way too drawn out. And I watched it. I was not. I wasn't really impressed with it. I liked the only thing I liked about it was the black and white. It was filmed in black and white, but otherwise, that I was not impressed with it. Hey, Professor, how are you? How are you? We will be talking with Bree Hill here shortly. I'm looking forward to this very much. It's gonna be a good interview, and once again we get somebody who's just starting to lift off. Their career is starting to get off the ground, and I really enjoy talking to artists that are just leaving. It's a lot of fun because they're so full of energy and life and possibilities, and and who knows what's going to happen to them. You just never know. It's always exciting to see. Um, in the last 6 years, last 6 months, I think I do, Professor. Honestly, quite honestly, I think there's some people that actually get some bigger names than me per se, but I still think I get the best. I will match up my lineup against anybody. I will match up my lineup against anybody. So I think I have some awesome guests. Um, and yeah, I'm excited about it. Uh, oh, thank you, Dale. I appreciate that. Yeah, the library was sort of slow for me the last 2 weeks. One, I didn't get anything. I didn't get squat. I think I got shut out. And then last week I got one. I got one item, and then I got 4 books. Good haul, but not what I'm looking for. And then I went ahead yesterday and I got those ones that I got. And I'm super happy to get those. Yeah, the library delivers. I'm I can't say enough about my library. Um, I do get some fun movies, though it took me well over a year to find a copy of Scream. I was waiting for it to come through the shelf. I knew I would see it. I had to wait over a year to get it. Now, like I said before, I could have went and bought it. I could have went and got it off of eBay or Amazon. I probably could have even probably got it from Best Buy or whatever. But I like hunting for it. I like looking for it, and so I did. I looked. I've been to thrift stores. Could not find a copy, and then this week I finally did. So I have all 5 movies. Um, so I'm not sure if that means that I'm going to be looking for. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a deep dive on it. Um, but as far as but where I was really excited to find more than the Scream, which is really cool. I mean, I was really happy to find the Scream, but I found a copy of Iron Eagle. Man, I can't tell you how happy I'm about that. That is like that's one like the funnest finds I found so far. I loved Iron Eagle. We used to watch that. We used to watch the hell out of that movie when it came out. That's what it is. I see other people, other collectors, they go, let's go hunting, let's go out, let's go hunting, and then they go to Best Buy, and it's like that's not hunting, kids. That's going to your store and picking it up. Hunting means you go to thrift stores, you go to Disc Replay, you go to Salvation Army, you go to libraries, you go to yard sales, and you hunt. The one place you do not go hunting for, I mean, if you go, you just buy it for what it is, and that's estate sales. You don't negotiate prices at estate sales. Anywhere else, you could probably negotiate. Even at a thrift store, I've negotiated a better price at a thrift store before, but never at an estate sale. If you go to an estate sale and they have movies for sale there, you buy them. If you see something you want, you buy them for what they ask you for. Yeah, you know what? Pawn shops used to be really good, but I've heard more and more that pawn shops are not taking physical media. Um, they're not carrying it anymore. But I think that's going to change. I do. I think that's going to change. I think that's short sighted. I think that once people, when they start noticing people coming in and asking for it, asking for physical media, I think they're going to realize that they got out of the business a little too soon, and so they'll be putting it back on the shelves. Um, I saw this from Ken from I saw from Ken uh, uh, Physical Media. He mentioned that Bob Iger said that Disney is going to get back into the physical media releases. They're going to be starting releasing movies back on home market. And I got to admit, I'm super happy to hear that. I think it's well overdue. I mean, they left millions of dollars on the shelves when they stopped it. All those people like us who are here in this chat room that would buy stuff from Disney if they had it on the shelves. I mean, you're talking like, you know, people who buy physical media is still overwhelmingly more than streaming. Um, yes, yes. Now, I did hear that there have been some movies that are actually being released in Europe rather than here. That's interesting, and that's not the first time I saw that. I've seen that before. American films that did not get a release here in the state on stateside, but did in Europe, and that's different. Um, yeah, I think they're good. I think Disney's going to release all the Marvel movies, all the Marvel series that they've done for Disney Plus. I think they're going to release all those, and they're going to release all the Star Wars series because there are fans that they'll just grab that shit up. They'll just go there and just as soon as you put it on the shelves, they're going to be buying it. It's just millions of dollars, millions of dollars that are sitting there just going to waste for Disney. Um, why not? I mean, maybe the most of the people already have streaming services, but they still want the physical copy. Why not get both? You know, why not get the money any way they can? So I do think that by time summer comes around, I think we'll start hearing rumors and grumblings and rumblings that they'll start be releasing all the Marvel and Disney titles that they've Marvel and Star Wars titles they've had, and I think they'll just lead up to Black Friday, and we'll see the return to Disney full on doing home release. I think that they do that and they make money like I know they will. And that includes the Fox library too. Don't forget, Disney has the Fox library as well. They can release tons of product out of there too. Um, I think as soon as they release it and people see how much people are buying it, I do think that we'll be seeing the other studios do the same as well. Um, yeah, yeah, I definitely want to own it too. I mean, I get the streaming idea, I do, but I like the physical aspect a lot more. Though, and I like Tubi. I do. I like Tubi. I've watched some stuff on Tubi. But again, it all it does is just pretty much just show me that hey, if you're running Tubi and you notice that all these people are watching all these movies, it tells you that if you put it out for sale, they're gonna buy it. All right. Our guest is here. So put your hands together and share us out if you can. Please share us out if you can. Put your hands together for our young makeup and special effects artist, Miss Bree Hill. Let's go get her.
Hello.
There she is.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. So we were just talking about I'm looking at the back on the back of your background. You look like you're one of us.
Oh,
Um, yes, I see tons of Funko Pops.
it's extensive.
I guess the one question I have is how many Black Phillips do you own?
How many? What?
Black Phillips.
I don't think I have any of those.
You don't have Black Phillips. You know what? I keep asking Christy from Nightmare Toys out of Vegas. I keep telling her I have her on as a guest all the time just so I can just get it. So just so she can find me a Black Phillip. It's sold out.
Oh yeah, some of them are
Yeah.
so hard to find.
Now imagine how frustrating it is to hear that and then read about Funko has to get rid of $30 million worth of inventory because they have no room to store it.
No. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
$30 million of inventory they're going to get rid of. They have to destroy.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I just like to get one Black Phillip from that. That's all I want. Just
I
I'm like,
just want Hannibal Lecter in the straitjacket when he's strapped into the dolly thing, because I have him with the bloody face and him in his blue jumpsuit. Oh,
you know what? I think if Funko really wanted to make a lot of money, they should release the Doctor from this Human Centipede.
oh, 100%.
I mean, so you've seen the Centipede, right?
It's been a really long time. I
But
don't.
you have to admit, but that doctor there, see that what really sucks about the Human Centipede, and I mentioned this before several times, and I'll mention it to you too. I love Silence of the Lambs. I think it's a great movie. I
Yeah,
mean, who doesn't love Anthony Hopkins, Jodie Foster, and Ted Levine, and all that? But that
right.
doctor from Human Centipede, he makes like Hannibal Lecter look like a kindergarten teacher.
100%.
We got some people in the chat here. Thank you for coming in. We got Sarah McKenna here. I think
Oh,
she's team Bree. The
oh,
professor saying hello. Our good friend Hobbs Hoare is just walked in to let us know that he is sharing out and listening. Thanks, Hobbs. You're the best.
thank
Um,
you.
yeah, I know. I know, Professor. Look at all the Funkos. How many do you own, Bree?
I think around 172 is the last time I counted,
That's 172.
and that was recent.
Wow, 172, but still no Black Phillip. I'm telling you, it's the Grail for Funko Pops. Maybe I don't know. I asked. I said, hey, does anybody have a Black Phillip that they don't want? Man, you know what? I could ask any other question out there, and
I could
I'll get an answer. But I say, does anybody have a Black Phillip? And it's like crickets.
I could add you to some Funko groups I'm in that are constantly like selling and trading their collections.
Um, how much do you think they'd be? They probably want an arm. They probably want half my soul for a Black Phillip.
Yeah, it's probably whatever they have the value in, and the apps that Funko and some other places have that tell you the value.
Well, you know what though, I will give. Oh, hey, okay. Jim is here. Jim Heffernan, fine film director and screenwriter in his own right, just walked in. Hello, Jim. How are you? Awesome to see you again. Oh, you know what? This is the coolest thing. It seems like the last 2 or 3 weeks, I'm just getting a ton of peers coming in here, of filmmaking peers. Uh,
Yeah.
I get directors in, screenwriters, I get actors, I get, effects people. They're all coming in now to see what you're going to have to say.
Oh,
I think it's so cool.
exciting and nerve-wracking.
No, not at all. No, we're going to have a good time. We're already having a good time.
Oh,
Um, I don't know very many other interviews that start out with talking about Funko Pops.
100%. I'm gonna be the one.
Well, someone had to be the first.
Oh yeah.
Um, So, okay. So here we go. What are your 3 favorite Funko Pops?
Oh god. uh, God, I don't know. I have to think. I have to look. I have so many. I know that my two newest ones are
Okay,
these two, which is the new Bride of Chucky and Hannibal Lecter.
okay,
And I love this Hannibal Lecter because they added the blood splatter to the box as well as his face.
right.
I just love all the details like that, man.
I was just wondering if that's his real face or not, or is that just the face that he put on? I think he didn't he put on Chris Isaac's face in the movie.
He put on someone's face when he was in the
Yeah,
ambulance, yeah.
I think that was Chris Isaac.
And I think my third favorite is Towley from South Park.
That's a big one.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's big.
It's one of the
That,
normal size ones. It's just
is that
probably
a normal size one, or is that big?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a massive one.
Yeah. My favorite bigger one is probably this ET with the moon and everything, and the moon glows in the dark.
Okay. Well, that's gotta be sort of freaky at night.
No, it looks really cool. The moon glows blue, and you can just see the silhouette, like on the movie poster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we you're gonna one of these days. I think probably sooner than later. I think you're probably going to work on a movie like the Bogman, and the Bogman should get his own Funko Pop.
That would be awesome.
Would that be
I would
fun?
love to have that.
Hello, JJ. How are you? How are you? And Daniel Wright is in. Thank you so much. I will say this now because because I have to. But if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit the sub button and hit the like button as well. We have all of Bree's information down below as well. So if you want to follow Bree, you can do that as well. Her information is down below. Um, so let's get into this a little bit. So you are a makeup and special effects expert.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would
Now,
I wouldn't say expert. I know a lot. I'm decent.
uh, well, that's a very hard skill to master. And I was commenting when I was talking up the show yesterday. I was saying how it seems to be more and more women are moving into the special effects makeup, not just the makeup if you see you get in the chair, but I'm talking about the mask and the
Yeah.
gore and everything else. It seems more and more women are moving into that and doing it really, really well. Is that something you see and hear as well, or is that just me?
I don't hear about it much around here, but I see a lot more women in it whenever I've started joining like makeup groups on Facebook and everything of other like self-taught people, and there are a lot more women in it than I thought, and it's kind of awesome.
Yeah, I would think so too. I mean, you can compare notes. Um, I don't know what it is. I just think that I don't know. I think it's more. I think it'd be more refined. I mean, I see some of the guys work and they're like, it's sort of like just brute strength. But I see women when they make their makeup or what have you, or their prosthetics or their mask, it seems to be a little bit more. I don't know. It just seems to be a little bit more passion in it. Not just a job, but it's and
Yeah.
and do you think that's the case?
Oh yeah, that's definitely how I got into it. It's like I just love it. I love everything about it. It's so fun. Like I love just mangling people and just making them look beat up and gashed up. It's
No, no. I was gonna. Now here's a question I was gonna ask. Has any of your actors that you worked on, have they ever gotten sick when they maybe or gotten queasy when you show them what they look like in a mirror afterwards? Because they're sitting in the chair. A lot of times they really can't see what's happening to them until you show it to them. But have you ever had any artists, any actors like go like, oh hell no, or get queasy?
no, I they usually are just like, "Oh my god." that. If they'll send it to their wives or like someone like close family, and their wives and or family members will just be like, "Oh my god, what happened to you?" on all this, and they're just giggling and everything. My favorite reaction was when I did one on one of the actors' arms. He wanted to take a GoPro to the gas station and walk in there with a mangled arm and just see what they said.
Watch how people react to it. Come in there like, help me. Yeah, that would be that would you probably freak out somebody.
Oh yeah, days on set when I wasn't really like doing anything, like I was there to just do a few simple things that didn't take much. I would just do my own face or something in my free time and then go to the gas station or something afterwards and just scare whoever was working.
Well, I mean that's a good way of actually seeing, like after they scream and they faint and you get them back up, then you can sit there and say, so how did you like the match? Do you see anything that would that could improve on this? Was there anything that would have made you pass out faster than what you did? I
Right.
mean, you get instant feedback. That's not a bad thing.
Oh yeah, I love walking in somewhere. I remember I walked in PetSmart once looking like a car crash victim, and the clerk was just like, "Oh my goodness," because I had like a huge rip across my chest, and he was just like, "That looks gross."
No, have people actually thought that you were really hurt and like try to dash over to help you?
Just go to PetSmart trying to get some help.
Oh, just you can come out there and say, somebody's pit bull was out running around and look what it did to my arm. Sorry to any pit bull lovers out there, but I'm just calling it as it is.
Oh, I have Pitbull.
Huh?
I have a pit bull myself.
Oh, oh my gosh. Well, there you go. Now we won't know for sure if it's just is it live or is it Memorex? Um, so how did you get your start into makeup and the special effects?
Like, how did I get into like doing movies, or like how
Yeah,
did I like just
yeah.
get into it in general?
Because most people, I don't know. I mean, were you always attracted to the behind the scene? Were you always attracted to behind the camera, or were you in front of the camera at first, or were you an actress first and then you slid behind the scenes?
Uh, I more was just into the SFX stuff. Like, I never really posted it often. Like, I posted it on my Facebook. Like, I have a whole album for it, and I've done that since middle school. And I really liked like getting the reactions of people thinking like I was really hurt. I just thought it was really fun, and I also just like when I figured out I could do it. I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like, I want to learn how to like make more. Like, I want to make it look like I ripped half my face off.
Uh, I am looking over here at the chat, and your chat is blowing up here. They have a lot of questions. I think I'm going to start doing some questions here because they got some here.
Cool.
Your friend Morgan is here saying, "Let's go, Bree," and then they asked, "She ripped my face off."
I did. I bit his face off, actually.
We'll have to talk about that a little bit. JJ wants to know what's your favorite classic horror movie. I bet it's gonna be those Universal monsters.
Oh. No.
No?
Uh, ooh. I want to say like Saw was like the classic that got me into everything. So that's I want to say that's it. Like that whole franchise.
Good one. Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
that's a very unnerving one. That's a very unnerving one. They've had some really good effects in that series.
I know I usually
So
don't have to look away much, but some things in that, like I have to just it makes my skin crawl.
yeah, I remember I got the heebie-jeebies once during Saw 2 during the needle scene, but I'm very proud to say that I was not the only one going like, oh hell no. I was glad to say I was not the only one saying that. Um, but I love the last one, Spyro. I
I
love
haven't got to see
the
that one
jet
yet.
the jet engine trap.
I haven't got to see that one yet, and I really want to. I haven't been able to find it anywhere yet.
That 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 well, when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Man, that was a kick-ass trap. That's a, that was different. That was really different and original.
Yeah.
Okay, so Saw is her favorite movie. Jim wants to know, were there any big films that served as an inspiration for you to pursue makeup effects?
I saw once again, and mostly like just because how real some of the stuff looked like. I want to say it's the fourth or fifth one where it's like Chester Bennington from Lincoln Park's in the car, and his back is like super glued to the seat, and he has to like lean forward and get the car to like not kill five of his other friends. And like he has to rip his skin off, and you can physically see every like tendon snap and skin and flesh and all different things popping. I was just like something. Ooh.
Wow, yeah, yeah, that. See,
That
that's the only bad thing I saw. I thought to me that really sort of soured me on the Saw
yeah,
was the fact that the stories in the first two were really good. I
yeah,
mean, real good. I mean, I personally like the second one more than I like the first one because the second one, the ending was just you thought you knew the ending. Everybody thought
I
that you.
know.
Then they did what they did with it. It was
Yeah,
just like that's even a better one than the first one.
I know.
Um,
I really didn't think that was where that was going to go with the ending of that
no,
movie, but
no, no,
when it happened, I was like just
no.
speechless.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but then it got a little bit, then people started saying how they're looking forward to see a Saw movie, but it wasn't because of what Jigsaw was up to. It was only because they want to see what the traps were,
Yeah,
and so everything was just glamorized for the traps and not
yeah.
about the story, and that sort of soured me out. But that's just me.
Yeah, like
Um,
they drew out the like bear trap scene for like so many movies. Like they made you wait so long just to see how the bear trap worked. And I think it was like the last one that they finally showed it. And it was just
um, Jim is mentioning a Spiral. Spiral was a fun take on the. Yeah, Spiral was very worthy. I would say it was my third favorite of the films that I watched.
yeah.
For the first two, then Spiral.
Yeah.
Before, yeah, Spiral was it was a thinking man's movie. Um, and Chris Rock did a great job too. Let's see. Morgan says, "Me and Mama Kelly love you. Even though you scare the crap out of her with your talents." see, see, that's what I love hearing. That's when you know you're doing it right. Is when people start screaming.
Even once we got all the makeup off, he still looked very feral is how I described him after.
Now you make sure you take pictures of all your work, right?
Oh,
You do.
100%. There's so
Now,
many.
now I knew another artist who took pictures of herself of her work, and she posted it on her Instagram, and I thought like I like the idea of taking the pictures, but I'm not so sure about putting it out in the public because you don't want any of your work, like copied, like or so you just take your pictures and build your portfolio up and only show it to prospective clients, like to get hired.
I post them on like a little album on my Facebook page, but it's mostly for like me to have them somewhere saved other than like just my phone, but also to just see how I get better, what I can do better, how much better I've gotten since I started. And so I just like to post them so people can also see that.
Let's see. You guys are really crushing it tonight. Thank you guys so much. Let's see. Elaborate and gory horror for the win. Found footage is also making a comeback. I hope so because I love found footage films.
Oh yeah.
I'm one of the few that do, but I mean, everybody says I hate found footage. Um, I think people. I think the only reason I don't really one bad thing about found footage, and it is sort of you have to be, and that is sometimes when you get a found footage, you already know the ending of the movie going in, for the most part, because it never has there's never a happy ending because that's you're found footage film because
Yeah.
they're not around, they're not but um so how what did you because I noticed when I post your headshot on for the show, I noticed right away that I thought it was a little unusual that you were a makeup artist, and I'm seeing this now when we're talking.
Yeah.
But I can see, I mean, you're very, very pretty.
Thank
Um,
you.
I was thinking to myself, going like, does she do both? Like, there's another makeup artist that we talked to, and we're going to talk to again, named Angel Bradford, and she started off her career in makeup, and then she segued over to being an actress. Now she's more of an actress more than anything else. I mean, she still can do makeup skills, but she's now known more for her acting. Uh, has that happened to you? Did you start out as an actor first, or was it always the makeup for you?
I mean, I did like school plays when I was a kid, so like I was familiar with it. And I do have like a small part in the Bogman, like Mitch asked me to be in, and I only have like one speaking line, but and it was fun. I enjoyed it. I'd do it again 100%. But I truly just love makeup. That's where my passion lies.
Oh my God, the professor has mentioned something too. I probably should have noted. You can always watermark those pictures to keep them as your own. That's probably something I would do too. Yeah, watermark them so no one can steal. Because
Okay.
a lot of people steal art offline online. Um, that sucks too. It sucks that we even have to even think about that. Hey, Jamie Hill, welcome. And here. Hi V, how are you? How are you? Our good friend Rick from Underground Sobrosa is here. Our friend Michael just walked in from Heroic Waffles. Please share us out if you'd like to. That will help the channel out, help our interview out a lot. We are talking to makeup and special effects expert Bree Hill. And I do say expert because you can do it and you can do it really well.
Oh,
I really liked the Bogman. The Bogman was very, very cool. Very, very cool.
it was
Um,
very fun to do.
so you did. You said you started out. Started out as most kids do, because most kids do start out on stage. They don't go. What do you want to do? I'm gonna do all the blood and gore for the for the Bethlehem. For baby Jesus. He's got to have an umbilical cord. I'm gonna put the blood on it. And attach it to Mary. Um,
That would
okay.
be awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that would work out so well, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking, how come we haven't seen that before? Um, so, so what was your first project that you did, as far as makeup goes? And was it watching the? Oh, I mean, obviously you're watching horror films when you were younger. So was it watching Saw that you said, you know what, I want to try that, or
Yeah.
was it? Wow, okay. How old were you when you first time you saw Saw?
Uh, I want to say it was around middle school that it really clicked with me. Like I was maybe like 13 to 15, like just starting out my teen years. But also like YouTube, everybody finds YouTube, and I grew up with it. And there was a makeup artist on it. Her name's Glam and Gore. She still posts, and I use a lot of her techniques. And like I really like just learned from her, and then just started teaching myself different things.
Now this is all by yourself. There wasn't anybody else there to help you, or this was it.
No, no, I would just be in my room like after school or something, and I would like put a huge gash on my cheek or like a huge black eye with a cut on my eyebrow and just walk out of my room and just look at my parents and just wait for the reaction.
I'm sure. I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could have got a lot of. I'm sure you could have got away with a lot in the house. Standing on the porch and going like, "All right, Dad. All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me have the car keys."
Oh,
um,
yeah.
were they? I'm sure they're very supportive of you, though, right? I mean, as soon as they saw your skill, they were like, "Okay, I'm down with that."
Oh, the most. That nothing but support always forever. They were like, "This is weird, but."
Yeah, I'm sure they're. Yeah, I mean, like I said, most people are thinking, I'm gonna be an actor. I'm gonna go in there and say lines and be famous that way. Um, but I think doing what you're doing, I think it's a much quicker route to getting into the movies,
Mhm.
because there's not that many of you doing what you're doing. I
No,
mean,
it's sad how many people like just don't do it anymore. Like how many that just dies out like that. I like hope people start doing it more and more.
well, but think of it this way though: the less people doing it, the more time you're gonna get called. You're gonna be always busy.
Yeah,
That's the beauty of it, right? I
Mitch,
mean,
Mitch
yes, you
has
want
made
other
me
people.
plenty busy right now.
So what was the first film that you actually? What was the first project you worked on?
The Bogman.
Was it The Bogman?
It was.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Rick wants to know: does she do the gory stuff, or creature effects? You could do both, can't you? You could do creature and gory.
I lean more towards gory gory, but the Bogman did have me learning how to do some creature effects.
Okay, you just made Rick really happy, because that guy, he's all about gory. So he's really happy about that.
Love.
Um, Yes, I agree with you, JJ. Makeup artists need just as much of recognition at award shows as the actors. I totally 100% agree with that. Same thing with Ghost with stunts. I think, yeah, definitely.
100%, man.
See, Jim, our friend, director Jim Heffernan, he asked the question: are there any particular makeup effects artists who inspired you? Yeah, now we know that watching Saw inspired you to do it, but has there been any other teachers, or other than the YouTube, the teacher you got on YouTube? Has there been anybody else that you've been influenced by?
Greg Nicotero, he does all the special effects for The Walking Dead, and just some of the stuff he does is just fantastic.
What was that? K and B, right? That's their company.
I
Kurtzman, Nicotero, and I forget what the B stands for.
I'm not
He,
sure.
they've been doing. He's been around for He's been around for a long time.
Yeah, and I love seeing him post about. He posts about it all the time about how like when he started, like he just it like he didn't have VHS tapes or anything. Like he had to completely teach himself on his own, and I love that about him.
I remember the first time I saw his work was in Starship Troopers.
Oh my, yeah.
That was the first time I saw his work. He did, and I mean, I'm sure you've seen the movie by now. That movie is bonkers as far as the effects go. I mean, they had a ton of them to do. This is before CGI. I mean, as it is now, everything was pretty much practical. Other than the creatures themselves, but they
Yeah.
did all practical effects. It was amazing.
Hmm.
Amazing work. Um, let's see. Let's see. Any familiarity with the works of artists like Dick Smith, Tom Savini, or Rick Baker?
I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the names. What are some of the projects they've done?
Wow. Now, I'll be honest with you. This is the first time I've ever talked to a special effects person who has not known who Tom Savini is.
I'm
Not a
terrible
bad.
with some names.
It's not a bad thing. It's just. But Tom Savini is. I
I've
mean,
heard Tom Savini before.
Rick Baker won an Oscar. He actually won an Oscar for his special effects for American Werewolf in London.
Oh,
Uh, and then Tom Savini did all the he did all the Dawn of the Dead movies, all the Night of the Living Dead. The
okay.
remake. Yeah, I mean he's done a ton of he's the first name a lot of people will sit there and say, well, name me a special effects artist, and today most of the time it'll probably be Tom Savini.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah.
I, I I have a book that was recently released back in December. It's Masters of Makeup Effects, and I think Tom Savini and Greg Nicotero and a bunch of other like SFX legends like wrote their starts to it. I haven't got around to reading it yet because job got me busy, but
Now, do you keep a journal? Do you write a journal about the work you do and what about the makeup you use and the equipment that you use? Do you keep a running? Do you write that down for yourself?
not really. I usually know from like because since I take pictures like usually throughout my process, I know what I used. I'm a big latex and cotton. Meat is my main medium. I love it. Everything.
Now, how do you okay, let's say I'm a director, right? I'm a director and I come to you and I say, Bree, I want to hire you to do this, to do the effects for my movie. Am I responsible as a director or producer? Am I responsible for your budget, or do you bring your own to the party and then bill me later?
So for this first movie, like everything was my own stuff. Like nobody got paid. Like it was all just we brought our own things and helped out, and everyone pitched in together to like make the Bogman. It's fantastic. But we for this next movie, Mitch has told me I'm gonna have a budget for all the supplies I need, and he's told me what I'm gonna need, and like he's just like figure out what you need, stay within this budget.
Um, so what's it? So this would be your first budget. If you don't mind me asking, what kind of budget what is he going to give you, and will it be enough for what you think you'll need?
I am not sure yet because I'm still figuring out how I'm gonna do some of the things. But the budget is $5,000. That's how much, and I think I can work within that because like I've worked with much less before. So I
He's
got
giving you five. He's giving you $5,000, or is that $5,000 for the movie?
it's for the getting like all the art department, like me getting what we need for a trailer for this next movie to get it pitched. Yeah, that's what it's for.
Nice. That's a pretty fair amount of money for an indie.
Oh yeah, I was when he told me that I was like, oh my god, that's nice.
And but don't do it at the sacrifice of crafty.
No.
Okay, yeah. Everybody knows the movie's made through craft table.
Mhm.
Uh, let's see. Let's see. See. JJ wants to know: Is that Velma on your shirt with the imaginary friends?
I don't know who's all on here. It's a Stephen Rhodes shirt.
Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure who that is. That's a unicorn, isn't it? That's Duke.
That's a
Okay.
unicorn.
Okay, I know Duke. That's the only one I know is Duke. Everybody else I don't know. Um, okay. Let's see. Daniel saying doing amazing. I agree. She is. Let's see. V mentions I love that the next gen still leans toward gory. That's right. That made Rick really happy because he's a gorovore. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Mr. Headless. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so I got that right. Thank you, Jim. I thought it was KMB. I wasn't 100% sure. Walking Dead makeup, really, really good. B is for Howard Berger. That's right. That's right. Charles Cochran in the house. Hi, Charles. How are you? Let's see. Bree can do it all. Super professional and comforting while she is mauling your face. And then Jim's letting us know that Tom Savini did a Creep Show, Dawn of the Dead, 78. He did he did the Night of the Living Dead remake in 90, among others. Tom was actually Greg Nicotero's teacher. Oh, wow. I did not know that.
That's cool.
Yep. Hi, Katie. How are you? Katie from Popping the Popcorn. Let's see. Jim mentions worth digging into the work. Definitely worth digging into the work of Tom Savini. Yeah, Tom Savini. He is the master. He really truly is. That yeah. Um, Tom Savini bought a decapitated head from us from last month. And that's from Rick. He has his company's underground Sobrosa. That's amazing. And then Morgan says we just gave away a severed arm. Okay,
We
that's
did give away one of the severed arms I did for the premiere.
oh my gosh, that's what a wonderful that's a wonderful gift.
Yeah.
Did you sign it?
No,
Oh.
someone got smacked with it though.
Okay. How did that happen? Did it not believe it was a real arm or?
I don't really know how it happened. They asked me if I wanted to smack someone with it, and that's how I realized that conversation was happening. And I was just like, they were like, no. I was like, no, I'm good. And like the dude who was like announcing the ticket numbers,
Mhm.
just had me take pictures of him smacking someone with it. It was.
Oh wow. Starting your next film, you're going to start signing these things. People are going to come up to you. They're going to want your autograph.
I
So
did
what
sign
kind
a movie poster that we gave away.
nice, nice. Now you mentioned that your medium is cotton and what else? Was it
Latex,
like
rubber,
rubber?
liquid rubber.
What makes those two mediums? I mean, is that the pretty much the bread and butter for any makeup expert?
I don't know. Some people prefer to use like third degree, which is like a building compound that you have to mix equal parts of. And then you have scar wax, which some people prefer. But I just tend to stick towards that because I find it the easiest to work with.
Now, is it hard getting it down to Louisiana? I mean, because Mitch put it, you guys are way up in the upper corner of it, in the middle of nowhere. So is it hard to get it, or you have
Yeah,
to travel for it?
I basically have to order it from a website where I can get all that makeup. And because if not, there's like not even any like party costume stores anywhere near me for like 4 hours. So like I have to wait till around Halloween to try and like get some or some from Walmart. But I stopped doing that and started getting like Ben Nye from a website.
Now, can you get these products for on sale and store them? Like you have your own little room area, and if there's a sale going on like today, but let's say you don't have a project going, but you want to get some supplies, while you can. Do they hold together in storage, or do they always have to be somewhat fresh when you do it for a project?
I think you can buy them in bulk as long as you don't open them, because like most makeup has like a little thing on them that tells you like how many months it lasts once the product is open. So I think you can stockpile. And the website I use, they do sales. I'm trying to remember. Camera Ready Cosmetics. That's the website I use. they do sales often.
Uh, so how much money, like an average? Let's just say an average, like if sale comes on, what do you usually get? I mean, what are the things? What are the hardest things for you to get that are always sold out? Because there's got to be some stuff that it's got to be hard to find.
Skin Illustrator palettes, they're alcohol activated paints. I find they work the best for me. And there's also something called bruise cream, which like you just dot into the skin for a little bit and then it naturally just looks like a bruise that formed. Those are sold out a lot. Like I can usually only get the bruise cream in one color.
Now, when you go over and you start working on somebody's face, I mean, it's got to be, like, you want to do like, you want to get a mask, you want to make a mask. Now, do you do that as well? Do you do masks as well as the makeup, or is that a different department?
Uh, for the Bogman, we use like a gorilla mask, and for like the close-up shots, we cut the jaw off, and then I like used cotton and latex to attach it to his face and make a prosthetic and like build his chin out and everything. And we put fake teeth in. I covered them in like tooth decay and everything, and just made it look like it was all a part of his face.
That's got to be hard. Is it hard for you to maintain the makeup? I mean, like because if it's action oriented, like the Bogman will be action oriented, because it's horror film. Is it hard to go ahead and touch that up, or is it almost like you have to redo the whole makeup, like per scene? Like, we're gonna end the scene right here, and then we're gonna go over here and do it again. Do you have to go ahead and redo the makeup, or you just try to or touch it up?
If it's like around the mouth, like a part of the face that just gets moved a lot with expression and like moving and everything, it can like start to pop up. And I usually like we don't have the time to refix it on this last movie. Like that was the case. We usually didn't have time to like actually take to like for me to redo it. So it was usually me just taking latex and like trying to rebuild and take a little more cotton and put it all on there and get it to stick.
Um, let's see, going back to the chat, mentioning here because this chat is really on fire. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. Let's see. V has a question. Let's see. How do you make your work stand out with so many great artists in your field? Yeah, is there anybody else in your town that does what you do? Are you it? I mean, are you the go-to professional for around your area, or are there other technicians that can do what you do?
I don't really know too many other people. I know like one other person, and he did a different job on this last movie because he just isn't that into it. He can do it, but he's not as into it as I am. Like I'm down for anything. I'll try anything. And yeah.
So you're it. I mean, yeah. Okay.
It was basically Mitch would like ask me to do something, and I'd be like, "I'll at least try it," and he'd be like, "That's awesome. That's what I'd love to hear that,"
Yeah.
because like,
Yeah.
not every person he found would be like just down to do anything. They'd be like, eh.
Um, well, I mean, did any of the actors did they have second doubts? They have second thoughts about going underneath all the makeup.
No one really with the gory makeup. Our Bogman, he did not like the grease paint that I had. Like it was black grease paint and like black eyeshadow that I had to pack into his eyes every day. He got so tired of it because his poor thing, his face is stained black like every day. Like, and he'd finally get it washed out of his face, and I just have to do it again.
Oh my gosh, how long does it usually take to wipe off to wash off the makeup at the end of the day?
I would never really remove the makeup unless they were like leaving early. They would usually just go home and shower. I'd tell them warm soap, hot water and soap. Hot water and soap is all you need. It'll get most everything off.
Okay.
And but he said it would take him like 3 showers to try and like wash all of it out of his face, and he'd still have stains.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Do you have any techniques that you prefer to do over others? That's coming from Sarah.
I love just classic big nasty gashes. I love it.
Do you use humor when you're doing that? Do you use humor to relax your actor or your stunt person?
That or I'll let them like play whatever music they want to hear, but I usually try and like poke and joke and poke fun.
So that really helps them to relax because you need to have them relax. If they're tense, that affects your makeup, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because if they're sweating a lot, the latex and everything can start to slide and come off and everything. So it's like I would be fanning an actor to try and help them keep their makeup on, or spraying them in the face with water to cool them off.
Now, I always wanted to know this: how do you handle somebody who has to go to the restroom? Like they have to go to the bathroom, like in the middle of a makeup. I mean, is that something you tell them not to do? Like you see them over there when you get to the set and they're sitting there swigging coffee. Do you tell them don't do that? Don't try not to do that too much because I'm going to put you underneath. It's going to take an hour and a half to do your makeup, and I don't need you to go to the bathroom like 5 times.
No, they can go to the bathroom if they want to. Like, I understand. And I usually tell them if there's like something they need to be careful of, like, hey, don't touch your face too much. Like, hey, don't move your mouth or your eyebrows. Like, try not to do too much of this thing. They usually try. And if I see them like something like starting to go wrong with the makeup, I'll be like, hey, no.
Uh,
Just very
uh,
nice about it.
okay, all right. So that way, let's see. Rick mentioned to sign all your work, sign it all. Yeah, I with that. Mr. Bones, I do believe I thought I put her socials down beneath. Um, I think I did. I put her. Yeah. Do you have any? Yeah. We're gonna have to get more because we only have her database page. Do you have Instagram by chance?
I sent it to you on Messenger, I believe.
You do? Okay, I'll add that for sure.
I added
Um,
everything back into it.
yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. You lost your page because of someone took. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Were you
lost.
able? Did you restart the page?
I didn't have to restart it, thankfully. I just had to like send Instagram a picture of my face to prove it was me.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good. Then we'll have her Instagram by the end of the night. We'll put that down in the description. Yeah, she had her Instagram she had to get her password back because she lost your phone. Now you lost your phone, right? Is
I
that what
did.
happened?
I was looking for a deer in the woods after I shot it, and I lost my phone.
You shot a deer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now that's not gonna have any special effects, right? You're not gonna like, yeah, we're gonna put this deer heart into this next movie. Uh,
Oh, I mean,
oh my gosh, the way you react to that makes me nervous. You would do that, wouldn't you? Yes, you
to
would.
mess with someone, maybe.
Yes, you would.
Probably.
Don't let that innocent face fool you guys here in the chat.
I am
She's a
very
she's
curious.
a skilled operator here. Uh, that's so awesome. Um, well, look at the professor saying, "What's the best fake blood brand?" I think we just found out that she doesn't use fake blood. She uses deer blood.
Um, I should have a bottle somewhere near me. Ben Nye. Any type of Ben Nye. I have another bottle, but fresh scab. And they have like dark blood and like the regular blood's called zesty mint. It's mouth safe, like it tastes like
Mhm.
mint, so it's like you can stain someone's whole mouth red. Best brand. And this is just thick and gross.
I have something. I don't know if you could do this or not, but I'll ask you. Can you, real quick, can you actually put like a cut on your hand? Can you make a cut on your hand while we talk?
Yeah, I can start trying to do that.
All right. So now we're going to see her do a little bit of operation. She's going to put some. She's going to do a little some special effects for us here. Uh, that'll be fun. I want to see this.
Put my apron in my lap.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now this will be a lot of fun right here. And while you get ready, I'll catch up with us on the chat here. You guys are really killing it today. I really appreciate it. This is awesome. Don't forget to hit the like button. And if you're new to my channel, feel free to give us a sub. We appreciate it. And hit the like button and comments and all that good jazz. I appreciate it. Um, let's see. JJ mentions see, the professor mentioned is it better to make your own fake blood with food coloring and syrup? Um, yeah, syrup's still used, isn't it?
I've used it before. It is not my favorite because if you want like a brighter blood, because like some blood's like paint red, I'd say use it, but I'm not a fan of the texture. It's very sticky and tacky and doesn't I'm just not the fan of the texture of it.
I was gonna say that what's it called? Zero, I think it is. That's just really. I was gonna say that would be a pain in the ass to clean up, to retouch up or whatever because it's so sticky. Ah, come back. That's not a special effects, kids. She'll be back. Um, Yeah, I think I'm with you. I'm with you, JJ. Yeah, you know what though I have seen ketchup packets used for stage blood still. If you watch a movie called the Shark Exorcist, they used ketchup packets for blood. And if Elaine's in here, and she heard me just say that, I'm just calling it as I see it. Don't beat me up. But you guys did use ketchup blood for the Shark Exorcist. Makes it more endearing for me. All right. If she can hear me, I'm just gonna tell her. Let me tell her to just to come back in. Oh, there she is. All right.
Daisy.
Ta-da! And she's back. All right.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I just said that someone had mentioned JJ just mentioned that they've come a long way from using ketchup packets for stage blood, and I mentioned that I had actually seen a movie that still used ketchup for stage blood, and that was a movie called The Shark Exorcist that they used that for. So I still think that it gets used once in a while. Uh, yeah, come a long way since Carrie. Yes, I agree. Um, let's see. And G has another
These were
question.
the
Um,
Skin Illustrator palettes.
so that's skin.
These are the Skin Illustrator. No, it's just these are the alcohol activated paints I was talking about that I use.
Oh, right. What does it cost? I mean, out of pocket. What does it usually cost for you to restock your like? Do you carry like a kit? Do you have like a box that you carry to
I
like okay, you got a job.
I have an entire rolling case that I used for the entirety of the movie. And these
Wow,
are the hardest to restock because they're very expensive, but B they're very in demand. Like this is like $60 to $80, and this one's like 50.
wow,
Yeah.
wow. So that's stuff right there. You don't ever really practice with that.
No, I will use it to practice. I'm very sparing with my supplies. I've learned how to like draw it out and make it work.
Uh, were you born and raised in Louisiana?
Yes, sir.
Because I hear no accent.
It comes and goes. Sometimes I'm talking straight cornbread, and other times I'm fine.
Straight cornbread.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So every time I run across someone with a southern accent, I'm gonna say, "Are you speaking straight cornbread to me or what?" Hi, Sasquatch. How are you? Enjoyed your live before I went on, out in the woods looking around. Let's see. Let's see. Morgan has mentioned let's see. Let me call. Oh, I scrolled down. Um, let's see. V says I'm too expensive to be Bree's client. Yeah, jeez, that's a lot of money, isn't it? Tim Curry as Pennywise said to the camera, "I'll kill you all." Um, I yeah, you know what? Is that hard? Is that hard doing makeup like that, like clown makeup or whatnot? Is that another is that a challenge to put facial makeup on somebody?
To like face paints like
Yeah,
that, yes.
yeah. Is face paint hard to do? Because it's not just it's not a simple face paint. It has to be specially made, doesn't it? So it stays on.
Yeah, that, and it's like getting it all to be evenly opaque and not like have some streaks in it. Like there's very certain techniques. Like I think crisscross strokes is one for certain types of paints.
Now, and you learned this all on yourself, right? So you're self taught with all this.
Yes, sir.
Wow, it makes it all that more impressive. Let's see. Creatures from the Black Lagoon reboot. Yeah. You know what? Has anybody discovered you from out of state and offered you a job yet?
Not yet.
Oh, that's coming. Oh
Fingers
yeah,
crossed.
yeah, that'll come. I'm. Have you gone down to New Orleans yet to work?
No, not yet.
Oh, that'll come. Yeah,
I'm about 4 hours away from there.
yeah. I'm sure that once you get another movie underneath your belt, I'm sure it'll happen
See you
very quickly.
guys.
Yeah. See, Morgan mentions Bree is the best artist I've ever worked with. It's so worth sitting in a chair for 2 hours to see the final product. That is like a really, truly complimentary thing to say, to be able to sit there and want to see your handiwork. That's a really professional and thing to say, Morgan. I think that's outstanding.
Thank
Um,
you, Bestie.
yeah, I like that a lot. Another question for you, Bree. What is the movie that you would like I think she's only done the one, but let me ask you that: were you 100% happy with the Bogman, or let's say you had a budget of $10,000, would you want to go back and redo anything in the Bogman, or were you pretty happy with what you did on a shoestring budget?
I mean, I'm pretty happy with how things turned out. Like, there
Hmm.
was like one or two things that I kind of doubted myself and had like a hard time with it, but I'm from overall mostly I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah, I think sometimes to overcome an adversity is better than having it handed to you. Yes, you could have a $5,000 budget. Here you go. But at the same time, to know that you did that on your own with
Yeah,
the minimum amount of what you could do, and yet it still looks as good as it does.
yeah.
I can see both sides of the coin on that. Definitely. Let's see. Yeah, she buffered.
Buffered big time.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Star Lord mentioned next to Green Glow and the Dark Predator blood. Um, yeah, cornbread. I love that too. Let's see. Rick says, Louisiana, can she rock that Creole food? Are you a good cook?
Yes. I'm not a big fan of cooking, but I can cook, yes.
There you go. Hello, Echo. How are you, sir? How are you?
Also,
Okay, another question from the professor. I think this might be setting a record for in the show for the most questions, which is awesome. I'm tickled. Um, from a makeup point of view, what's her favorite movie with effects that she likes seeing? Um, yeah, not outside of Saw. What movies or TV shows have you seen now with practical effects that have you been impressed with?
Final Destination, one of them. I forgot to mention that one earlier. I thought about it earlier when I saw a comment about Final Destination.
Uh,
Um,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
yeah.
Which one?
Just one.
I think
Oh,
the best kill in the series is the 1 and 3 with the two girls in the tanning bed.
I was gonna say that's like the one that really comes to mind.
Yeah, that's bonkers. That's
That's
absolutely.
I remember being scared of tanning beds after that scene when I was younger.
Um, you know where Crystal Lowell was when they were filming that. You know where she was at?
Where?
Right off the camera, watching it. Yeah, she said, "Yeah, well, no, I stayed and watched it." That was just the most. It's a weird scene because the music is so that's not appropriate, you
Funky.
know. Yeah, roller coaster and all that. It's just so, and then they go ahead and it throws you off so much. You're thinking it's how lighthearted it is, and
Yeah.
then they drop that death in there, and it's like holy shit. Um, yeah. Um, see, oh, Final Destination ruined eye laser surgery for me. Yep, I can see that.
Ooh, the escalator scene in Final Destination. That one was also.
Yep. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Another foundation is already on the cusp of completion. I did not know that. Well, they better bring back Tony Todd as Death. Is all I gotta say. Um, if you could work, if you could shadow any, other than Greg Nicotero, if you could shadow anybody right now in the business, who would you like to shadow?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I really love the makeup artist I learned from on YouTube. Like, I would love to just see how she like really does her work close up and in person. And
Does she go out? Does she do a lot of movies?
not anymore. She mostly sticks to YouTube. She didn't really like the movie aspect of everything. Some people to
Oh,
work with, actor wise.
hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever had any problems with an actor in the chair?
No.
Yeah.
Everyone. I'm usually pretty accommodating to everyone, and I'm very understanding of anything. So I'm.
Yeah. I just have a feeling that I have a feeling that if someone was going to be a bit of a knothead, I don't think they really want to have to deal with Mitch. Mitch has that really professional aspect around him. Like he wouldn't really put up with anything like that.
Yeah.
No, I got that feeling from talking to him. It'd be like he's all about the work and the project. And
Yeah.
if one actually was being a little bit silly, I think he would not let that go.
Well, we would have those days and be like, all right, guys, like, let's get our sillies out for a few takes and then it won't be funny anymore and we can go on. Or it'd be like, all right, can we just be serious for a second? We really need to get this shot. We're crunched for time. We need time. Like, they really ever got serious. And then, like, afterwards, him or Daniel Stark, our cinematographer, would just be like, guys, just like, no, I'm nice of like awfulness when I.
Um, let's see how your hand is. How's your hand looking here? Oh my gosh, this is gonna be awesome. It's already awesome looking. Holy crow. Um, do you do that a lot? Just when you're not working, do you ever have your friends come over and you work on them, or you just do it yourself on yourself?
My friend Sarah, who keeps commenting, has been my model. Like when Mitch asked me to do the Bogman, and he was like, "All right, this is when we're set to start filming." I was like, "Hey, friend, come over to my house. Let me beat you up."
Oh, okay, all right. Um, how did you like the movie? How did you like the finished movie? Were you pretty proud of what she did? I mean, are you your own worst critic?
Yes and no. Like, it's hard to be my own worst critic when even like while we were filming, I was getting a ton of compliments. Even on the days I was like, "This is not my best," and like especially at the premiere, everyone just kept being like, "This was so fantastic! Like, I can't believe like you do that. Like, how like." And I was just like,
Yeah. I can imagine that. I mean, especially all the time and effort it took you to do it. Um, what kind of movie would you want to do next? I mean, you did a horror film. What kind of makeup job would you like to try to what effects would you like to try on next? And have you ever made a mask?
no, I made my first prosthetic for this movie, which was just like a jaw piece for Tank's character, and that was a challenge, and it made me honestly want to start like getting better at building my own prosthetics and making my own masks and all that like Richard in our art department, me and him have talked about like making face casts of our faces and like building those and like using those to do our makeup. And I really need to get with him on that.
Now that is that's something is that more expensive to do, or is that built it like is that separate from your department? The special effects and makeup, is that different from mask, or is that all one and the same?
It's separate but the same sometimes. Like me and him had to work together on the Bogman costume because it was all like one cohesive thing that we had to put together, and we that was I feel like it's kind of the same thing.
Let's see. Oh, thank you, JJ. I really appreciate that very much. Thank you. We're having a blast. That's for sure.
Uh-huh.
V mentions the first visual and sound effect that gave me the heebie-jeebies was the fly. Yes, I could definitely see that. Mine too. The first movie. You know what's funny? It's the first movie more than the remake. Um, do you think effects are better today than they are 20 years ago? Or you
Yes
think we
and
depend
no.
too much on or we depend on too much on CGI?
Yeah, some of the like things stay true to using a lot of practicals, but a lot of like bigger things are going to CGI, and I sometimes CGI is better. I'll give it that, but sometimes practical, it's just it adds that extra effect, man. Like it creates that realism even for like the other people in the scene to get to look at it and be like, oh, and react to it, you know?
Right, right. Yeah, I think practical is the way to go, especially if you're going to do horror movies with all the kills and everything else. I mean, you
Yeah,
know, yeah,
like
I think between the makeup and the sound effects guy, they can make and break a movie, with the sound effects they use, and or the makeup that's used. It can take a good movie and make it great,
yeah,
or or if it's CGI can take a good movie and make it poor.
yeah, like it just can go either way.
Now, I see you keep waving your hand. Is that because this does a sting, or do you have to let it dry?
Drying.
Oh, okay, okay.
Gotta let it dry before I put some color on it.
Um, uh, Hi, Andre. Yes. Oh, yeah, Andre. This is one for the books. Yeah, this is a fun one. You'll really enjoy this one. Um, let's see. V mentions she'd like to see you dressed up in costume on Halloween with all your talent. Yeah. Have you ever cosplayed?
I've never cosplayed. I want to, but I've done like I did like a costume contest when I did college for a little while, and I won that because I did like the whole car crash victim thing and just limped down the runway.
That would be, yeah. I mean, that's I mean, have you, if you take the Bogman out, or are you going to go like to any festivals or conventions and take the Bogman with you to tour it around and let people see the movie? Are you going to go to any conventions and maybe show off some of your talent?
If I'm available to go to the conventions, yes. Mitch told me any convention that I and the guy who does the Bogman, who gets into that makeup, he said if we can both go, we'll be doing it at any convention we are both at.
Okay, that yeah.
And
To me, it's almost like a resume. I mean,
yeah,
you go there and you do that, and people see you, and there's a lot of independent artists there, independent film productions. They see your work, and then more often than not, you'll be able to network yourself into some work.
yeah.
Um, all right, how do you looking for work? How do you submit yourself out there?
So far, it has just found me. Like I like close family friends will be like, "Oh, hey, I know this person. I reached out to them. They told you if you talk to this person, they can get you in with somebody to do like an internship." Or in the case with Mitch, he's like a close family friend, and his wife and I, like with one of my aunts, the we went out to dinner with her, and she ended up talking to me about it, and we went over to their house the next day, and Mitch was like, "So she showed me your work." He was like, he showed me one of his movies that he was working on at the time, Unknown Strangers, and he showed me some scenes from it, and he was like, "Do you think you could do these things?" And I was like, "Of course." And that was basically how I started off getting actual jobs.
So how many jobs have you done outside of Bogman? Have you done anything big, or you just done small jobs? Because you mentioned Bogman was your first movie. Has that been the only one that you worked on so far, or have you done anything else?
That's the only movie I've done so far. I did want to make up for the premiere for Mitch for Unknown Strangers. I turned like 4 or 5 people into zombies to walk around and like spit blood out at people.
Okay.
And when I was in high school, I would work at an elementary school haunted house and just like gash up my face and stand in a corner. And when people walked in, I would scream at the top of my lungs.
Do you like doing haunts? I mean, do you think that is that a good place to is that a good place some people are really good at it, but some people are not. Is it just because of the budget concern? I mean, is that what holds people back from doing your job? Is because of the cost involved in it, or is it?
I feel like it could be who they learn from, like just the techniques they know. Like sometimes they don't know that many techniques, but also yeah, I think it can be from the budget. And I do think haunts are like a great way to just like start to get into it to see how you feel about like actually doing the work on these actors or yourself and like going on about it and all that.
And is it worth it? I mean, is it worth it? Because a lot of times maybe you're just starting out, you're gonna have to invest the money of your own doing it. So that's a worthwhile do it. Sometimes it's good to invest the money on your own to get the work, to get the experience.
Yeah. I enjoy doing haunts. My payment is watching grown men fall over things running to get out of the room away from me. That was fantastic. Kids are mostly like, I'm not scared of you. You're like, well, go then.
Yeah, as soon as they get around the corner, they're telling their mom that they need to have their pants changed. That. I'm telling you that right now.
Right?
I'm not afraid of you.
All right,
Okay,
shit.
is she gone yet? Mama. Yeah. hmm um. So, what are some of the things you tell? How do you handle? Do you test your actors? To make sure they're not allergic to anything. Like latex is very confining. Do you do testing before that to make sure they're not allergic to it?
I do make sure to ask them. And if they tell me like I don't know or I don't know how like this thing may affect me, I'm like, all right, well, we're gonna put it on your forearm, leave it there for like 30 minutes or however long we have until this has to be done, and we'll see if you rash up. And if you do, we won't use that.
Okay. Okay. So it
Yeah.
takes about 30 minutes to decide whether it's safe to use or not.
With latex, yes, because if you just put it like patch it on your forearm right here, and you can most likely rash up within like 30 minutes to an hour, and if that means you're allergic.
Mm, mm. You ever had to deal with any crisis like that?
So far, no.
Yeah.
I have other backup things like third degree to help me if that happens. I'm prepared.
What's third degree?
It is a building compound that you like mix equal parts of it, and it makes like a thick gel, and you can like use it to make it look like someone's skin's melting, or you can make it to look like a wound.
Hmm.
Very very handy stuff.
Uh, uh, Staring fear in the face. Let's see. Christopher Lloyd and Dennis the Menace looked terrible. I mean, that makeup was rough. Yeah, what's one movie that we all know of where that you could actually point out where the makeup has not been so good?
I can do that with most anything. I can tell what's makeup and what's not. My dad loves it, like pointing it out and being like, "Is that real or not? How did they do that?"
Uh-huh.
So
Have you seen a movie where it's just like the makeup's just like I mean, how do they even let that go on camera?
I, man, it's so bad I can't even think of the name, but I definitely have. My brain's like, I don't want to think about that.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, do you think it's just because of lack of skill or lack of just bored?
I don't know. Sometimes it just depends on the artist. Some of them that do it but aren't that enthusiastic about it.
I can already see the gash going on your hand there. It looks absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
You know, that actually looks like my hand when the cheetah scratched me when he got outside.
Oh my god.
That's exactly what it looked like. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so-
Now just imagine more blood coming out of it.
oh, there will be. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, I like the idea of doing masks. I mean, we've had a mask maker on the show. I just find, and I've seen that behind the scenes where you actually got to put somebody's head in you have to put goop all over their head, and they have to sit there. So what do you do to keep them calm? I mean, you're the person putting it, and I guess there's a two-edged sword because you want to keep them calm at the same time you want to work fast so they're not in there for as long as any longer than they have to. But how do you keep them from panicking? I'm sure there's some people that are cool and they want to see what you've done, but I'm sure that you've had a couple that have had squirmed that have been like, it's just going to be over with anytime soon. I mean, because it is a little nerve wracking.
I have not had to do the face life cast of someone's face yet. I want to get with our art department, Richard, and get with him on doing that at some point because me and him both want it done for our own reasons, like Halloween and all that. And we both want to learn how to do it properly. And so I want to learn by doing it on myself and thinking, okay, like how do I keep myself calm in this situation? Like, learn from experience. I've
Mm.
been before.
Um, let's see. V mentions, yeah. Morgan mentions that you are zoned in. I agree. Yeah, she's on fire right now. Yep. Can't wait to see the hand. And then we're hitting Picard who becomes a Borg. Yep, that was great makeup. Um, yep. And Morgan says that glad to be the model for the mask. For the mask, he's volunteering to be yeah. That's very cool. That's really cool because that could be really nerve wracking because you're sitting there and you got all that goop on your face and not only got to you get used to that both because you want to go through that experience so you know what the actor is going to go through,
Yeah.
so then you can figure out how to calm them down and whatnot. Are
Yeah.
there some people, do you think there's some people, have you met anybody yet that hasn't that really wasn't inclined to get all bloody and gory? I mean, they said, I don't really, they get nervous out of actually sitting down and going through that makeup process.
Some of them were just like, please don't get it on my clothes. And
Oh,
I'm like the world's worst about like, oh God, now that you said that, it's going to happen.
so, well, how do you handle that? Do you just get do you get a,
I try to like have a towel or something around, baby wipes, anything that can get it off of where it's not supposed to be. So hopefully it doesn't happen. Like some actors, I would sit it like on their lap because they wanted it on their shirt but not on their pants and all that.
now I ask this question a lot for directors, but I'm going to ask you this question too. When you watch movies, when you go to the movies and you watching, you watch it as a fan, and then you watch it through your eye. Is there a hard time? Do you have a hard time watching a movie just for the enjoyment of it, or are you always looking to see what are your peers is up to as far as makeup goes?
I I enjoy most movies I watch, unless no, I don't really care. Like I'll notice it and I'll be like, oh, how'd they do that? And I'll think about it and think on it. And if I'm like want to learn how to do it, I'll look it up and research how to do it. But none doesn't really stop me from enjoying anything.
How's the hand looking?
Nasty.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome looking. Uh, that is now you have to now. Can you dry that? Do you dry that quicker with like a hair dryer?
Yeah, I don't have one nearby.
Right, right. Wow,
On set, I would use like a hand fan.
that would just be very intense to walk into a store with blood on your hand, going like, "I hurt myself," and watch their reactions. They was just,
It is
I don't.
really fun.
So where do you think you want to go in the future for this? Are you going to stay in the town you're at, or do you have plans to maybe go to a bigger town, like New Orleans or maybe Ohio or Georgia, with a bigger film market?
I don't know. I'm pretty happy where I'm at right now. I'm because I have so movies lined up for Mitch. Like he's like script. Here you go.
Does he
Right.
give you scripts? Do you read his scripts? Does he give you the scripts?
I read like his very first drafts most of the time. Like he'll send them to me as soon as they're finished before like the grammar's even checked.
Okay, that's all right. Nobody gets the grammar right in the first place anyway.
No, he'll just send the email and be like, "I'm sorry if the grammar's terrible. It hasn't been spell checked."
No, no,
I'm
I
like,
get it. I
understandable.
get it. I get it. Um, yep, I get it. What's a challenge what's the kind of challenge you want to do? I mean, what's the biggest challenge that you would like to try to do? Would you like to work on a zombie film where you have to make up like 200 people extra? Is that something that's a challenge would that be something that would challenge you to do something like that? Or would you rather just stay small and work with individuals? You
If
know,
if I feel ready for it, I'll do it, man. Like I'm down for anything.
all right. So, are we ready to show off the hand and or are you gonna put some blood on it?
Not yet. Still have some things to add. Not much more though. Before the blood.
So you're gonna put the bone sticking out through the back of the hand too.
I don't have any Q-tips with me.
Oh my! This was actually unscheduled. I didn't know I would be doing this until we started talking. I should have probably been a little bit more prepared, and I should have known your skill set was ready for this. Um,
Oh yeah, doing it in the room where all my stuff is.
let's see. Kelly will be the first female mermaid.
I love that.
Who's Kelly?
Uh, like my aunt. She's fantastic.
Okay. Oh my gosh! So are you gonna dress her up like a mermaid?
The next movie, Sea of Madness, the mermaids are very unique. I'm still figuring out how I'm gonna do the techniques to figure out how to make them look how Mitch wants them to look, has them described in the script.
Yeah, that would be a hard. But is that something you have to work with costuming as well? You have to work with them on because they dress the characters a certain way. I mean, is that basically it? You work with both the mask department, art department, and the costume department. Is that basically the three departments that you work with the most on a movie?
Yeah, and right now that's basically just me and Richard.
Right, right. But it does sound sort of cool when you sit there and say department. I'm a
Oh,
department head. Yeah. Well, you are. So put it down there on your resume. You come
I
down and say, what have you done? Department head makeup. By all means.
oh,
Um, get my makeup, Pat. Let's have a contest. How about if I just smear some catnip on the back of my hand and let the cheetah take a swipe at it?
I think you
That
beat
that
me
that
there.
that could, huh?
I said I think you beat me there.
I think I probably would too. I don't want to do that though. Don't make me do that. Do you have pets yourself?
I have a pit bull and a wiener dog.
And a wiener dog.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Do they ever like getting for people who keep up makeup and supplies like that? Um, you have to keep them locked away and dry, right? Up in a closet and dry. How do you keep them up? How do you keep them so they're ready to use?
I basically just keep them in a case in a room that doesn't really change temperature in our house. That's worked so far for me.
Okay, okay. See, makeup artists have a lot. You're like one of the first people on the set too. I mean, when you're early call every single day, and you're pretty much the last person to leave every single day too, because you got to take the makeup off, right?
Yeah, I was usually always the first one there just because I had to figure out like most I usually sometimes I knew but sometimes I didn't know because schedules would get changed, but I would have to figure out what I was doing that day and set everything up for that, and sometimes I wouldn't have everything I needed like I thought I did. I always have obstacles.
Now, what's been your favorite? What's the favorite thing you ever done for yourself? I mean, you're like costume wise.
Um, when I was like 17, I made this eye look like it had been ripped out,
Oh,
and that is my favorite thing I've ever done.
uh, do you ever think about going back in front of the camera, or are you totally at home behind it?
I'm pretty comfortable behind it. I mean, if Mitch ever asked me and I thought I was capable, I'd do it.
I think that. Yep, I get that. I get that. Let's have Zombie Tuesdays. Yeah. Well, I tell you what. You know what? Well, I'm sure that when her next film starts, I'm sure she'll post pictures. And I'll if not, I'll let people know. But I mean, the best way to do that is to obviously follow her socials. I'll be putting down her Facebook page or Instagram page down below, and you'll be able to go there and check out her work. Is there any other places, social media wise, that we can see your work at other than Instagram?
Not really. I don't really ever post anywhere else.
Okay. So it'll be Facebook and I mean, sorry, it'll be Instagram, and you can go take a look at her work. What about peers? Do you guys? You mentioned you joined a lot of groups. What's it like? Is talking among your peers, is that easy? I mean, do the people talk about their projects quite a bit, or they sort of keep it quiet, close to the vest?
Usually on the groups, if someone's like really happy with their work, they'll post it, or they'll be like, "How can I'm starting out? How can I like improve what I'm doing? Like, how tips for the best things, all that." I'm not very much confident for posting something like that. I'm very socially awkward and anxious, but to each their own.
I think you've actually handled this. You actually been very. This has been a lot of fun. You've shown no anxiety here.
I get to talk about all my favorite things.
Right. uh, that's right. I love the Funko Pops. Now, do you collect movies as well? Are you into physical media as well as Funko Pops?
Not as much as the Funko Pops. I mostly just collect those. I'm trying to. I don't think I really collect anything else.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. I think I got like, what do I got? I got two. I got I got seven. I got seven of them. That's it. They were all sent to me.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, now I can see. I can know what you're doing now. Now you're adding the blood. I can tell that. Oh my gosh. Okay, while she finishes that up, I'm gonna read the calendar a little bit because I have more questions, but I'm gonna wait till she's done. And then I want to take a look at that. Wow, that is really really cool.
And my mom broke it.
You're using
Started a devil one.
you're using your expensive you're using your expensive supplies.
I'm sparing.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
How fast can you do an effect like this? Are you going as fast as you can to do it right now, or is it harder because you're doing it on yourself?
it's it's pretty quick when I'm on myself because I know how I need to move and I don't have to readjust any. Where? There it is.
How did you and Mitch end up meeting anyway? Through a love of movies or at college?
Uh, a family friend. My aunt and his wife have been best friends since college, and I went over to his house one day visiting with my aunt to see his wife and him, and that's basically when we like started like actually becoming like acquaintances and friends and all that. Now we're like family.
He's a really nice young man.
He is. Ew, this is grossing me out a little. I wasn't
Uh,
expecting my mom to bring in a Q-tip.
I guess your mom and dad are used to you working on yourself like that. You know,
Yeah, they know I won't.
where's Bree? Oh, she just cut her leg in the bathroom. You know. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember one time my grandmother called and was like, "Was she in a car accident? Like, did she get? Oh my god!"
Oh, that's what I mean. I was going to ask you, like, you know, has somebody ever seen you come in like that and just rush right over there, ready to help you because they thought you were really hurt?
No, usually it's they go real wide-eyed.
Oh yeah, I would. You know, you would think so. You know, yeah, because that seems to be the natural reaction is to stand there and freeze, and then before they react. Oh my gosh, this was amazing. Thank you for doing this, by the way.
Oh, no problem. I love this.
Thank you guys for staying around. I mean, this is something we don't get a chance to see too often. Actually, this is the first time we actually see something like this. Um, so this is really cool. Wow, that is cool as hell.
There's a little bone.
That looks just like, you know, that looks just like the cheetah it got in a hold of you. Holy shit, that's way too scary. I'm getting phantom pains in my hand from looking at that.
The Q-tip really added the effect.
Wow. Holy cow, that looks absolutely frightening. That's amazing, Bree. Look at that. That is so killer.
Thank you.
My God. That's just man, I gotta give it up for that. I gotta give it up for that. That's amazing. Wow. What do you guys think, guys? What do you think? Bree's gonna fall asleep with her hand wound on her face and go to work and scare everyone again. Jamie Hill came in and says it's badass. I'm with you, Jamie. That is badass right there. Where do you work at, if you don't mind me asking? Do you work at? Do you work at a shop that you know? I guess will we be a good place to work at if you're a makeup person?
I
Do you
work.
work at a beauty supply shop or anything like that?
I wish. No, there's nothing like that close enough to me. I'm a receptionist at a car dealership.
Okay, all right. Well, I just think you could do a paper cut and come out looking like that, and they say, "What happened?" You say, "Paper cut."
Oh
Uh,
yeah, just walk upstairs like, "Hey, you guys got a date?"
yeah, you have a band-aid. I caught my hand in the car. That does look beautiful. I'm with you, Morgan. I'm with you. Wow, that is so cool. Now you took you about about 25 minutes, 25, 30 minutes to put on your hand. How long does it take for you to actually clean that off to where you get your hand back? Is it just like
5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay.
Yeah, soap
Wow.
and warm water, and this just peels off. I could show you. I
No,
can.
no, leave it on. Leave it on. I like it. No, it's cool. No, it's cool. No, no, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna let you go though, so we can clean it off. I do want to thank you for coming out. I just think it's cool as hell, man. I'm gonna come back and snapshot that and put it on my Instagram so people can see what we did here. That's amazing. That is thank you so much for doing that too.
Yeah, no problem. This is awesome.
Yep.
I haven't done anything in a little bit.
All right, boys and girls. I absolutely had a blast here. I want to thank our special guest, Bree Hill. This has just been one of the funnest interviews I've had. One of the best dates that we had. We had Amina Hatari for the first show. Excellent film director. Now we had a special makeup expert here in Bree Hill. And yes, I keep saying the word expert because, quite honestly, you are. And just embrace that. I want to thank you guys in the chat today. You guys have been outstanding today. I can't thank you guys enough. If you're new to my channel, you haven't subbed to me, feel free to sub because we do this every single week. These shows like this, we do this every week. We interview people from all over. And so if you want to be a part of that action, go ahead and hit that sub button come by and come visit us. Tomorrow night, we'll be having novelist Jennifer P. Tuck will be our special guest, and we will be talking about writing and world building and all sorts of great groovy things involving pen and paper. Um, I want to thank you guys again for everything. Bree, I want you to stay right where you're at. To
All
the
right.
chat, thank you guys so much. Feel free to share this out. Once it goes up, feel free to share this out on your Instagram or Facebook or what have you. The more views, the better it is. I appreciate that. And we will see you tomorrow night. Some of you, I hope, all of you. That would be awesome. Until then, I will talk to you soon. Want to say goodbye, Bree?
Goodbye.
Good night.
Toodles.